Good evening, School District of Indian River County. This is your Superintendent, Dr. Moore, here with an opportunity to provide you with an update regarding our opening of schools over the course of the last week, as well as to share some very important information as we move forward. So first, let's look back at the course of our first week. I want to begin, obviously, with an update regarding COVID and where we stand. As to date, we've had only 0 employees identified as being positive as it relates to COVID-19, and a total of 3 students positive over the course of the first week, 1 being at Vero Beach Senior High School and 2 being at Osceola. We are excited to report that we are able to implement our response protocol in partnership with our health department in a very quick and efficient way. We were able to provide direct contact to those parents who had to self-quarantine their students. We're able to provide them the work. We are going to continue this week ensuring that our teachers have the opportunity to connect with their students, ensuring that the work remain on Canvas. So when and if there is an opportunity to go through a self-isolation process, students know exactly where to obtain that work. So we continue to implement and monitor the reality as it relates to COVID over the course of the next several weeks. I want to give you a quick update as to where we stand within each of our instructional models. We have currently 62% of our students in the brick and mortar experience, 23% of our students in the virtual experience, that is the platform-driven process, and then 14% of our students in the transitional model. It's important to note when we created this model, each model is dependent upon the other in order to ensure that we're maximizing social distance in the brick and mortar, while at the same time creating meaningful opportunities within each of our virtual models. So we have balance. We've asked families as of last Wednesday to allow us to problem solve with you within each of the models that you have selected in order to ensure that we're getting that model correct for you. And we're going to share some information in the coming minutes regarding our next steps in moving forward. But as we're still in the reality of this new situation, on the screen now is opportunities for students who are in virtual 2 and 3 to have access to our food and nutrition program. And you see the times for each of our schools in which you can pick up your meals. The same process or payment option you would have in a regular school day applies here within each of these models at these particular times. So if you're virtual 2 or 3 with those options, you can swing by at these particular times. You can also find this information on our webpage. This is the secondary school, so I'll allow that information to appear for a second. Times for you to pick up lunch even though you are on virtual or transitional. And looking at our support complex and opportunities to provide our tech depot, we continue to problem solve and work with parents. The volume is down significantly, and I certainly thank our parents and our tech team for providing the level of connectivity and support that they have over the course of the last several months to ensure our students have the technology, they have the resources available to them to provide that support to our families. So if you're still in need of swapping out a device, Thursday from 3 to 5 p.m., as long as you're in line by 5 p.m., we will quickly work you through the line to exchange a device, provide a device, or problem solve with you as it relates to a device. In reflection and listening to feedback provided over the course of the first week, the issues that we had did mostly revolve around hardware issues, sound not working, network connectivity seemed to be strong, the feedback provided by each of you. So we just need to make sure that we have the devices in hand at home so we can continue to connect within our virtual options. During the week of September 14th through the 18th, that will be the time that we begin to seek input from our parents in option 2 and 3. As you know, our transitional model was a transition model for the first 9 weeks. And the commitment that we've made is that we would continue to review the reality of COVID within our community and extend if it had not improved. Since initially offering, we all, as a community, has seen significant improvements in COVID. but we need to continue to wait this out. So during the week of September 14th through the 18th, parents in both options 2 and 3 will have opportunities to provide us feedback regarding your intent to return to the brick and mortar experience at the end of the first 9 weeks. So this is going to be an opportunity for you in order to provide that feedback to us. Then the following week, September 21st, that would be the opportunity for us to evaluate where we are as a community as it relates to COVID, the responses provided to you within each of the models you're currently being serviced by in order to begin the plan to return students to the brick and mortar experience for the second 9 weeks. So we're excited about where we are as a community within our first week and continue to ensure and improve the quality of instruction within each of our particular models. So as we move forward, today is an opportunity really to ensure that quality education is being provided in response to what we as a community have been through for the last several months. Since March 13th, we have been out of the brick and mortar experience. The quality education that is provided within brick and mortar is the first option. And we understand we have made other selections and created other resources to educate your children in order to ensure we're providing that flexibility to keep everyone safe. But we can't allow COVID to have a long impact on the lives of our children. And we as adults will manage through COVID. And it has been an extreme inconvenience. 2020 has not been a great year. But as we move through the next couple years, we'll get past COVID. The inconvenience that it's causing us now, and some of it will be hard. Some of it will be a loss of a job or reduced income. And we understand that, and we know that's hard. But as adults, we are resilient, and we will get through it. The impact that COVID can have on a child could last for the rest of their lives. You'll see a lot of research in the coming slides that we will share as it relates to learning loss, or what they call COVID slide. And the research is compelling, that based on a young child's life, and the gap of instruction when they are at such a young age could have a compounded impact over the course of their educational experience. And we as a community and we as a district need to come together to combat that loss, to work together to ensure that we are acclimating our students to an environment where they feel safe and where they feel comfortable. And we did do Unity Week this week. We did have some mishaps and some self-corrections, and we assure you that in the school district of Indian River County, all content will be age appropriate. The intent of Unity is to pull us all together and welcome our children back to a space that they've been away for so long. And that is what we will continue to do in looking at acclimating all of our students to this new environment. Simply ensuring they feel welcomed in the space that they've been away from for so long. And when you think why do we have to be so intentional about welcoming our students back? The disruption in school attendance, modifying school and classroom environments, new routines, new procedures, varied instructional models, and the stress of COVID-19. So much is new for our students. So we need to be intentional of ensuring when your students come home or they log off the computer, they feel warm, they feel welcomed, and they had a great day of learning as a result of the relationships and connections they have with their peers and with our educators in our schools. So we need to be intentional of acclimating our students to this new environment. In the slide that you see here, it continues to reinforce that COVID slide and the impact of COVID-19, as well as the impact that it could have on the achievement gap. And if you look in this slide here, you can see decrease in total years of effective schooling received. We offered a provisional plan at the end of last school year as we walked into summer. It wasn't brick and mortar, and it was a great effort by everyone involved to create meaningful instruction in a very rapid and quick response time. We now know there are opportunities that we're doing in options 2 and 3 to do that work better. We do not want to see decrease in test scores, ACT scores, FSA scores. Those are all gatekeepers that provide additional opportunities, entrance to college, acceptance to certain scholarship programs. Those indicators are key, and we need to do everything in our power to ensure our students have every opportunity to obtain those particular schools. Students who stand on the fringe, this learning loss could impact their ability to obtain that score or pass a class, ultimately, which would lead to graduation. We need to ensure that doesn't happen for not one student in the school district of Indian River County. We need to ensure that we're continuing to do our work to eliminate the achievement gap. There are significant work to be done in the school district of Indian River County, and we, as a district, want to lead this work. So as we lead this work, we want to acknowledge that we need to accelerate our outcomes. And we want to accelerate our outcomes by identifying our students who need that additional support. We want to accelerate their learning to hit December. And when we hit December, we've eliminated all potential learning loss or COVID slide. It requires us to be very strategic. It requires us to evaluate how we're spending our time in creating additional opportunities for students to connect and engage with quality interventions and quality instruction to ensure come December, we're right where we need to be. We're right back on track. We began the year with COVID interrupting everything and slowing us down. Let's end the calendar year by accelerating through meaningful quality instruction, using data to drive that instruction, providing the additional resources to our students to ensure when we begin 2021, and all of us are going to be so excited to be done with 2020 and excited to begin 2021, that we ended 2020 with every student right where they needed to be. And we refine our instruction to continue to move students forward. So at the end of the 2021 school year, we have provided quality instruction. We have beat COVID. We have eliminated learning loss. COVID slide did not happen in the school district of Indian River County. We ultimately accelerated our students. In order for us to do that, in this initiative, which is our initiative we're calling A2, this is an opportunity to eliminate learning loss, as I've said. Our goal is to get that work done by December. We will, as a system, provide acceleration through opportunities. Before school, after school, during school, opportunities for students to participate in these meaningful interventions. These interventions will be provided by our teachers, our staff, who will all be trained in order to provide this additional time, this opportunity to be in front of COVID. So these interventions will be opportunities for you to connect. And your principal and your teachers will be reaching out over the course of the next 3 weeks as we evaluate the data, we evaluate the impact that COVID has had on each and every single one of our children to determine what do we have to do to eliminate that potential loss between now and December. So as a principal or teacher reaches out to you and affords you the opportunity for something possibly before school or during school, or after school, please know our intent is to ensure your child has every opportunity provided to them as a result of quality instruction. We've lost time. We need to make up some time. And we can make up this time in a very strategic and data-driven approach. We will ensure every student is on track where they need to be by December. So this is quality instruction. This is us as a school system and as a community coming together to ensure our students are acclimated to their environments, regardless of the option that they have chosen. These interventions to accelerate the outcomes of children will be provided. We have the opportunity to tell a story. We are telling a story. Why not tell a story that the 2021 school year began with us as a community coming together, connecting to one another, giving of our time to ensure that this awful year that COVID has interrupted us did not have long-term impact on our children. We can do this. We can do this together. We can ensure that every single child in the school district of Indian River County is provided with meaningful, quality instruction, as well as additional interventions to ensure by December we've made up that time. We're right where we need to be. So with that, School District of Indian River County, thank you for your time. Thank you for the opportunity to be in service of your children in this community. Have a great day.